All right, let's dive into something we've all done, giving customer feedback. We're going to break down how the smartest companies are actually using our comments, turning them from just noise into a roadmap for making their business better. You know the feeling, right? You take the time to fill out a survey, give your honest feedback, you hit submit, and then crickets. It just feels like it vanishes into some digital black hole. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and see what's really going on. So here's the thing. Most companies really do want to listen. It's not that they don't care. The problem is they're facing this absolute tidal wave of data. It's classic information overload. They're just trying to find the real message in a sea of thousands upon thousands of comments.
I mean, imagine trying to have a real conversation in a room where 1,000 people are yelling at you all at once. That's kind of what it's like. And if you don't have a system to make sense of it all, even the best intentions lead to customers feeling totally ignored.
Okay, so how on earth do companies even begin to sort through this mess? Well, they usually start with a tool you have definitely seen a million times, that simple 0 to 10 rating scale. Yeah, this is usually part of a system called the Net Promoter Score, or NPS, and the goal is pretty straightforward. Just get a quick read on how loyal you, the customer, are. That's why the question is always something like, how likely are you to recommend us to a friend? And based on what you answer, you get dropped into one of 3 buckets. A 9 or a 10, you're a promoter. You're a big fan. A 7 or 8 makes you a passive. You're fine, but not exactly shouting from the rooftops. And anything from 0 to 6, well, that makes you a detractor, an unhappy customer. But here's the catch, right? A number is just a number. Knowing that someone is unhappy is useful, but knowing why they're unhappy, that's the jackpot. The score tells you the what, but the real gold is in the story behind it. So how do you get that story without just creating more data chaos? Well, the solution is actually surprisingly simple. It's a technique called reason mapping. So instead of that big empty comment box where you have to type out your life story, reason mapping just gives you a few buttons to click right after you give your score. For you, the customer, it's a tiny little change. But for the business, oh, it's an absolute game changer. The whole process is so elegant. You give your score, then you click one button. Maybe it's price, service, delivery time, whatever it is. And boom, the business gets instant, perfectly organized data that tells them not just how you feel, but why. And that one little step just completely transforms everything. The old way meant someone had to manually read every single comment, trying to spot trends, which is slow, expensive, and honestly super inconsistent. The new way? You get an instant dashboard that turns all that noise into a crystal clear signal. And this is where that signal gets really powerful. Check this out. Just by asking that one simple follow-up question, what's the main reason? The business gets a snapshot of how they're doing in all these key areas. They can see right away, hey, we're great on product knowledge, but we're really dropping the ball on resolution time. And they get all that without bugging you with 5 extra questions.
Okay, so getting these insights is amazing, but, it's only half the story. The real magic happens when companies actually use this clarity to do something about it.
All this data basically fuels 2 different paths. The first one is customer recovery. That's all about fixing problems for individual customers, like right now. The second is business transformation, using all those patterns in the data to make bigger, smarter changes for the long run. So let's talk about those quick wins. Customer recovery is all about making you feel heard. So if you give a low score and click delivery issue, the system can flag it instantly so the right team can reach out and make it right. It turns a bad moment into a chance to prove they're actually listening. But we can go even deeper than that. There's this really cool concept called the customer pulse. Instead of just reacting to one bad score, it tracks an entire account's satisfaction over time. This way, a company can see if a customer is slowly getting unhappier and step in before things blow up. It's all about being proactive instead of reactive.
All right, so now let's zoom out to that second track, business transformation. This is where all those little data points come together to build a compass that can guide the entire company.
And this brings us to what the source material cheekily calls the CEO's favorite chart. And for good reason. It's a super powerful tool that helps leaders figure out where to focus their most important resource, their attention. Here's how it works. You're basically plotting 2 things against each other: how happy a customer is and how valuable they are to the business. The priorities just jump right out at you. A high-value customer who's unhappy, that is a code red, all-hands-on-deck situation that needs immediate action. A happy, high-value customer? You nurture that relationship and learn everything you can from them. It's all about putting your energy where it's going to have the biggest impact.
So with all this, where does a company even begin? The advice here is actually fantastic, and it applies to pretty much any huge project. Think big, but start small. Don't get paralyzed trying to do everything at once.
They call it the salami method, which I love. You wouldn't try to eat a whole salami in one bite, right? No! You improve your business the same way, one thin slice at a time. Maybe this quarter, you focus all your energy on improving that resolution time score. Next quarter, you tackle communication. Each slice is a small, manageable win that adds up to a huge transformation over time.
Which really brings it all back to you. The next time you see that 0 to 10 scale and those little reason buttons, you'll know exactly what's happening. Your feedback isn't just a complaint disappearing into the void. It's a fact. It's a piece of the puzzle that helps a company get better one slice at a time. You're not just a customer. You're actually part of the solution. Thanks for tuning in.